Hi, I'm Coco Dominguez, and I am a news anchor and reporter for Fox 26 Houston. I cover the biggest buzz of the day, whatever's buzzing, whatever the city's talking about, sports, entertainment, concerts, behind the scenes, exclusive food, culture, all the goodness. And you see me posting from games here and there, and oh, it's a lot of fun, but there's a lot of work. I want you to see what I do throughout the entire day in order to make that happen. All right, let's talk about Thursday, March Madness Sweet 16 week in Houston at Toyota Center. That Thursday was a big day. It kicked off with the Houston Astros home opener and then the Sweet 16 with U of H. So I was working a double. I went in at 11:30 a.m. That's earlier than I usually go in. What happens before, you got to get your credentials way before you even get to a game. People are saying sometimes to me, let me get a ticket. Let me go with you. I don't get tickets. I just get access by way of credentials. So my team at the station has already put in credentials for me. I have Astros season credentials. So let's start with this Astros home opener. I had to go pick up my credentials for that. And then the NCAA Sweet 16 with U of H in it. Whether we were going to be in it or not, we were going to cover the game because it was here at Toyota Center. Massive, massive deal. So I went to go pick up credentials for that. All of that is done ahead of time. You don't want to do it the day of. We headed to Dyken Park. I meet my photog. We heard in there. But before we get there, what am I going to wear? What am I allowed to wear? Yes, allowed, because as media, you're not allowed to wear the sports memorabilia for the team that you're there. You're not even allowed to cheer. Like in the press, you just got to be neutral, as hard as that is. So this day, I decided to go with all white. That way I could wear it to both games. And orange shoes, tennis shoes for the first one. I had another outfit for U of H. I'll tell you about that in just a minute. So I'm wearing my all white and my orange tennis shoes. We get to Dyken Park, we put our stuff down, and then it's time to hit the streets. Street Fest, I should say. There's a street fest there before the game started at 3 o'clock. So we get on the concourse, and I'm like, let me look down on the field and see if there's anybody there I want to go and interview. So we go down there before our first hit, which is supposed to be at Astros Fest right outside. I go down there. Houston Astros owner Jim Crane is there. I'm like, great. I want to talk to Jim. You have to kind of clear it with their PR. So I'm like, hey, is he doing interviews? They're like, go for it, Coco. If he wants to do one, go for it. I said, great. Jim, you got a few words for me? He's like, yeah, absolutely, Coco. So we go on. I do this with Jim Crane, right? Some of them are live. Some of these shoots are look live. So we're not holding Jim Crane for an hour until I have to go live. You just get the interview and you send it in. So I did that. That was my first interview of the day. Amazing. That was great. Then it was time to go outside with the fans. So this is one of my favorite parts about working games because I was a radio DJ and I miss that interaction with the fans and the viewers and the listeners. So I go outside. I have never seen so many booths before at FanFest. I mean, there were people everywhere. So good. I'm shaking hands and kissing babies and reuniting. So we're live, and we go live for about 3 to 5 minutes because we're full on stream on Fox Local. That's how you can watch us. So gone are the days of give me a minute and a half, 2.5 minutes. No, take it for about 5 minutes, and it's up to you what you do, who you talk to. All of that is up to you. I'm going around talking to everybody. I'm like, okay, we're done out here because the game starts at 3 o'clock. I go inside. As far as meals are concerned, when you're with the media, every team is different. So the Astros, you got to pay, I forgot what it is, like $10, $11 maybe. So you pay for the meal and you get the spread of whatever's there. I'm like, let us eat before we go to Toyota Center, which is right down the street where the Sweet 16 was at. We eat right before 3 o'clock. I'm live at 4:30. So I go there. Once I get inside of Toyota Center, that's when I realize I don't think I want to put this red on. I don't want to switch it up because I also have to kind of check out the scene. And, college basketball is a little bit different as far as dressing than NBA basketball. Like the scene is a little different. So I decided instead of changing to this fun little number that I had, it was kind of a celebration thing. But I realized we're still fighting for our life here with U of H Cougars. So I did not switch. All I did was switch up the shoes to let people know who I was with. When I get there, it's Nebraska and Iowa all over the place. That was the game before U of H versus Illinois. So I'm there. I go live. crazy fans, especially the ones from Iowa. But I hear because they don't have any professional teams that they are all into their school. So you got to maneuver that too. Like there was a guy who was walking around following us for like 10 minutes before I even went live. So you got to be able to be professional, get them out of the way, be prepared for the unexpected, So we did that. Then again, I go live in the 5 o'clock. Then I go and find my U of H people because now they're starting to roll in a little bit more because that U of H game wasn't until 9 p.m. Yes, I was working a double this day, but it was going to be worth it because I'm like, yes, home teams, let's go. So I finished the 5 p.m. newscast. Then my sports producer comes in. He's going to relieve me for a couple hours. I go inside. I want to watch the game, have a sit down. I'm not hungry because I just ate. So I'm sitting down. And where do we get to watch the game? So as media, there are assigned seats. But of course, with something like NCAA, priority, of course, is going to go to like ESPN and all that. So there's like the courtside. Then you got your mid-press, and then there's an overflow, but you're still getting access. You're going to be able to sit somewhere. So I'm up there. We watched the game, me and a coworker of mine. That game was over. Now U of H. I come back from doing another hit because I also had to do another hit outside because I'm also in the 9 and 10. So these are look lives. You're no longer allowed to be live inside. So I go outside. I know some of those people are still coming in from U of H. And once I'm done with that, I come back inside. My coworker said, there's an open seat down court side. I'm like, I'm on the freaking way. So I go down. I am courtside now, getting ready for U of H in Illinois. The Nebraska guys are gone, but there is a backpack underneath where I'm sitting. So I'm like, someone's coming back. I mean, who doesn't want to watch good basketball, especially the Sweet 16? So I'm chilling. I watched the first half, which, by the way, those guys from Illinois, huge. They were all like Drago's kids, like from Rocky. They were massive. And at that angle, it just felt like U of H was like fighting the entire time. Anyway, but we're not allowed to cheer. We're like, ooh, oh, no, yeah. So that's happening 5 minutes before I got to leave. This is when it's getting good. They're starting to score. But I am there to get post-fan reaction. Whether they win or lose, I need to talk to the people, see what the people have to say. We're already going to cover the press conference, so with sports is going to cover that. So we're going to hear from the coaches and players, but we also need to hear from the fans. So at this point, I'm outside watching the rest of the game on my YouTube TV, and fans are starting to come out. And if you're coming out early, you're sad. You're disappointed. You don't want to talk about it. And that's some of those fans are like, nope. So you're just trying to see who wants to say what. We're not live at this point. We're just trying to get fan reaction. You're always going to end up getting some people. So it's just going to take a minute sometime. It just depends on what game it is and what the outcome was and what we were up against. But people are starting to come out. They're all over. So I get enough sound. By this point, it's 11:30 p.m. Remember, I got there at 11:30 a.m. in the morning. So we head back to the station and we have to ingest everything. The photog puts it in the system and gets it ready for the morning show to pull what they want from it. And then they use it for the day. So I probably left the station close to midnight. Like Michael Jackson, it's close to me. I probably left close to midnight. I'm like, this is great. I got this. I was beat. I was beat down the next day, but it was so worth it. Houston sports, it's just what we do here in Houston. So that was my day. It's a lot of fun, but yeah, it's a lot of work too. And you got to just be able to maneuver and hold those conversations and talk to people. But that's what I enjoy doing. And I appreciate everyone that comes to me and says hello and just, spends their time trying to be on the camera and all that. That's a lot of fun. So thank you guys. I will see you at the next big event here in Houston. Ciao.